Alright folks, we are back with video 3 to the Saturn V Diorama. And the bugs are starting to fly around me now. Okay, so I was picking up the pieces and I started to sand some of the notches from the tree out of this piece here. And it's all these little fine grooves in here. I didn't want to destroy them by putting too much pressure in here, so I did a little bit, but I decided to take my X-Acto knife and give come in from the angle and stay in between the grooves so I didn't mess up the grooves on it. That kind of worked pretty good. I kind of like the way that happened. Now, as you watch, I am still taking some out, and I may have gotten a little too much on that one. It happens. So, what I'm going to work on first is the fin housing. The fin housing has fin grooves in it for these 4 fins. And I think the best way to do this is place them in, glue them, and hold them and hope I can keep the fin straight. I don't have very steady hands, but I think that'll work. After I build that, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the engine housing with the actual engine nozzles on them. I'm going to build that separate. I'm not going to place it together. What I did notice while I was doing this, I got the instructions on my phone, and it says, you know, get part 1 off of tree 2, and I went to look for the part, and I realized there are no numbers on any of the parts or on the tree. So what I believe is the original instructions had the tree on it and numbers pointing to which piece was which, I believe. So that's how I've got to do it. I've got to take my time with it. So we're going to work on the fins. Oh, before I go any further, I did have to test fit the rocket motor housing to the fin housing, and if you notice, I put a black mark here and on the back of this one because I had to test fit it and it didn't fit right, and it kind of looks like it would fit any direction, but it doesn't. It kind of leaves gaps and stuff. So I figured out, I worked it around, and that's the best one, and it'll pop down and glue in when I'm ready. So that's the best way I've seen it fits. So let's go ahead and glue some fins on. But first, we have a commercial timeout. Diet Pepsi. I love Diet Pepsi. It's one of the best drinks there is. I've been drinking these probably 15 years. I used to drink regular Pepsi, but whenever I drink regular Pepsi now, I get kind of a headache from it. So I don't drink regular Pepsi anymore, and Diet Pepsi tastes good to me. So thank you, Diet Pepsi, for helping out with that drink. I really appreciate it. Alright, so I'm going to also, one of the things you can do here is you can run just a simple file over the edge of your pieces, because sometimes when they come out of the press, they have little pieces sticking up. So you got one of 2 ways you can do it. You can use a file, or you can take your knife and gently, don't dig in, and just slide it around, and that will help peel off most of that excess. My puppy's outside now, and he's got a bad cough right now. So that's where we're at. I've got about 30 seconds before I shut this video off, so I don't want to start gluing until we start a new video. So we're gonna get ready to shut this one down at 5 minutes. Now, you know, a lot of people don't realize the history of the Saturn V. Saturn V didn't just send people to the moon. It also launched Skylab. It was the U.S.'s first attempt at a space station. When they did it, they removed the whole upper section. That's the capsule, the LEM, which is the moon landing vehicle. And it was literally basically that piece sitting on top of the first booster. I did notice this. I'm going to continue talking for a few more minutes. This model is probably not one of the best ones. The seams are very, very visible. Now, have I ever really touched up seams before? No. So this will be a learning experience for both of us. Alright, so that's the end of video 3. I know, kind of boring, but we're going to get going here. Alright, see you in video 4.